Everybody can't come up here. You already know who I'm rocking with. The Friday show. It's Friday.
The Friday show, man. It's just going down.
So starting off, as soon as the bell rings, I'm trying to find my range. I know she's a little bit longer. She catches me first, which I'm like, oh, heck no. I need to be first. So then I find my shots, and I'm like, okay. That 2 landed. Right there, I caught her with some good shots. So I was like, okay, got to be fast. Boom. And I just got to be in and out. Just be away. She kept switching stances, too. Like, she's in orthodox right there, and then she's back in southpaw, and then I'm like, okay, when she's in southpaw, I got to stay to the left of that outside foot, and that's where I kept finding that right hand at, and it just kept landing, and so I kept throwing it, and Israel always tells me, like, stop throwing that right hand, but I kept finding it in there, so I'm like, why not? And that's a strong punch, you know? So right here, you know, just finding my shots, moving my footwork. Every time she switches stances, like when she gets in her southpaw, I'm moving more to the left. When she's in orthodox, I'm mixing it up. I can move left or right. But she gets in southpaw a lot, and that's where I was fighting that right hand. So I threw that right hand I don't know how many times. Landed that hook.
Right hand, the perfect shot. To the inside, there's the left.
I think it landed to her neck, but you could hear that from a mile away. I kept hitting her with boxing shots, like really looking for the knockout shot, you know, like the chin and stuff. Like, you know, those are your main knockout shots, for the shots to the chin. So that's where I was landing at a lot. She did catch me with the hook right there, right after the bell, and she caught me good, and I was like, oh, hell no. But, you know, I just shook it off like, all right, let's go. So right here, Israel, and he's just telling me, you know, what I'm doing is working, like moving, you know, when I'm working to the left, to the southpaw, he's telling me to start switching it up to the body and just mix it up that way, because you know, as MMA fighters, they don't really shoot to the body as much like us boxers do. So, I'm listening, and I plan to make that adjustment in the next round. Whenever they put that cold thing on my eye, I'm like, I hope I'm not bleeding, because they told me beforehand, like, that the commission there in Connecticut, that they'll stop the fight if the cut is like too big, and I knew that's a sensitive part right there, so I was like, damn, I hope I'm not cut. So I knew, I was like, I can't get hit like that in the eye. And right here, I just start circling to the left because I was fighting that right hand a lot, and then I start trying to set up the body shots, which I start finding it right there. The plan was to knock her out with the over right hand. So I got my right hand that keeps landing, and then the over right, I was trying to find that, which I found a few times, but she really had a strong chin. I was expecting to knock her out a lot, you know, I was expecting like sometime during the fight, because it kept landing, and I'm like, damn, this girl's just walking, she's eating it. You know, and I know I hit hard, because, you know, all the guys tell me, like, you hit like a man, so I'm like, this girl's tough. And what's funny during this round, too, is that I think I heard somebody say 30 seconds, and I'm like, all right, I got 30 seconds. I start working hard, right? And, like, I'm like, I didn't hear no 10-second bell. And I'm like, fuck, like, when is this round going to end? And then I heard somebody say, 30 seconds again. I'm like, I thought they already called the 30 seconds. So I'm like, oh, hell, here I go. I got to keep going. So right off the clinch, so the rules for the clinch is if we're both clinching each other, they break it up. So since I'm not used to clinching, I made sure to hold down the arm so she couldn't hit me. And as soon as she clinched onto me and we were both clinching each other, I let go and I threw a hook because I knew the ref was going to break it up. So I played dirty a little bit right there. And then during this break, they were telling me, my corners were telling me to start using the clinch. But I felt like it was kind of hard to find the clinch, because I kept landing that right hand, and she you know, she was keeping her distance, and she was a lot longer too. But there were moments where I could have capitalized on the clinch. So now I know for next time, I'll start training and getting a little bit more comfortable with the clinch. But I feel like it's something I could easily adjust to.
If I'm in the corner of Hazleton, you have to do something huge.
So I lost my balance a little bit. And it's not that she she hit me too hard. I just lost my footwork. She hit me while I wasn't balanced, and I just lost my balance. So it looked like she may have hit me hard, but she didn't. She starts finding her little rhythm. I noticed that she starts switching stances, as using it as defense, moving into her orthodox and southpaw instead of slipping and rolling or using her footwork really to get out. She just switches stances. But I set up that right hand a lot during this last round, just trying to get that knockout. I'm like, this is the last round. I need to knock this girl out. Using my tie-ups. Trying to suck her up.
Continual movement from Nadia Rodriguez. Talked about her right hand. Her footwork has been on point. Credit though Sophia Hayes, youngest fighter on this BKFC fight night, league in Sun card at 20. Has taken some big shots.
Really just using my footwork to get out the way and set up my shots. So while I'm resetting and moving around, I could just explode in, and that's that's my style. And it's the last round, and in the last round, I'm thinking, this is the last round. I just got to go all out. I don't care if I get hit in the eye or what. I just got to keep going. Which I feel like that was, her most damaging shot was towards the eyes. And they didn't start gushing out blood until, the last 10 seconds. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Boom. And then once that 10-second thing goes, I'm just going all out. I'm going wild. And then fight's over, give her a hug. We hug it out. I'm like, thank God that's over with. And that's it. And I see her in the screen. I see her dancing around and everything. I think that's the only reason I think that she thought she won, because I did have a cut, but I knew I landed a lot more shots, and I was more technical, and I was pushing her back, and I was dominating each and every round. I had every round, and I knew that, so I was confident. That's why I was raising my hand, and I knew that she had caught me in the eye, and because I seen blood, when I was fighting, I seen blood on my shoulder, and I didn't see no blood on her face, so I was like, that's my blood, I'm bleeding right now. And the cut man, he took a little bit of time to stop the bleeding and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I got cut pretty good, but it's just from those eye shots, that it's real sensitive in that area. But I knew I won the fight, and I knew if they would have gave it to her, it would have been, it just wouldn't have been right. Maybe because she was from that area, and I just think that way because that's happened to me before. I've gotten robbed in hometowns before, and so just really confident that I won the fight. And I see her in the screen because, when you're in there, you could see the screen and the camera if it's on your face too. And I see her bouncing around and I'm like, I got this. I got you. So, just you really got to show confidence in there. And I knew I had it. So, and I felt good. I was glad that it was over with, and that it was the end of it. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
28 and 30-27 to the winner by unanimous decision, Nadia 007.
It's funny, I look on YouTube at the comments and they're like, she fake opened that can of drink they gave me, which I did, and I pretended to drink it, and they caught onto it. I'm like, dang it, sorry. Yeah, because that's their biggest sponsor, Bucked Up. It's their BKFC's largest sponsor. So they hand you the can, and you don't have to drink it if you don't want to. My hands were kind of like shocked from the fight or whatever, so I was like, I didn't want to open that can. I had jammed my finger a little bit just punching around, but that was like the main thing that I hurt was like just my finger. I feel like just like, after the fight, the swelling in the face, it just gets more. Like the next day, my eye was like swollen shut. We're in the airport, like different airports, sunglasses. I'm with this guy full of tattoos. They're like, people looking at me crazy. Yeah, like, are you okay? Yeah. So, but it's part of it. And, yeah, that was pretty much it. I had fun fighting. I'm glad that it's over and on to the next one. I do have my eyes on some other girls in my weight division, like Crystal Pittman. I see her. She's had a few fights in BKFC, and I feel like that's a potential opponent that'd be good for me. But whoever they want to give me, shoot, let's do it. I'm ready. I feel like I went out there and showed that I belong out there. And that's just the start of something new for me, BKFC. And maybe I could